Caddo Parish Sheriff Steve Prator is here. Hey, Sheriff Steve, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Well, let's start with the Block Boys and the Get Money Boys. What exactly happened yesterday? Fill us in. Bring us up to date on yesterday's legal dealings.
We announced yesterday the indictments. Now, that's not the convictions, but that's the indictments of a number, I believe it was 9, that are currently been charged with a number of crimes, and it all, the sum of them would amount to the RICO prosecution, which is organized crime. They organize in such a manner or fashion, and they do a number of things, anywhere from murder to selling drugs to stealing cars to shooting in houses, selling drugs, and you combine everything that they've done over a number of years, it shows that they're an organized enterprise. And that's what we deal with here in Shreveport quite often, are these groups that they're not really Crips and they're not really Bloods, but they name themselves like Block Boys or Bottoms Boys or whatever, and they conduct this business, and they have a hierarchy. And so anyway, what we did was take it a different route. Instead of picking off one thing and taking it local and another thing and taking it local, we combined everything that they've done over the last 5 years and solved a number of crimes and charged the whole group. Long explanation.
Sheriff, the acting U.S. Attorney, Alexander Van Hook, said, and I'm quoting, "I think there is a gang problem in Shreveport." Would you agree?
Oh, certainly. Certainly. We have others that we're working currently. We don't want to tip our hand, and in the indictment that's been printed and I've seen in the media tells a lot more of the investigative details than I would have liked to have gotten out. But it's public record once they're indicted, how you went about it. But yes, we do have a gang problem in Shreveport. Anytime you have people able to drive by and shoot into houses and retaliation like you have, that's not just they're mad because somebody stole their tomatoes over the fence. That this is big stuff.
This is not your first rodeo. You've been in the police business a long time. How does this compare to the gang problem we had back in the 80s?
Well, back in the 80s, that's when crack cocaine first came on the scene, and we had some real problems with crack cocaine. The gang problem we have now is, it's hard to compare it, but I'd say it's the kind of thing we've got to get on strong, because it takes hold so quickly, and you start having neighborhoods that are intimidated, and that people can feel free, criminals can feel free to walk in and carry guns and shoot guns and sell dope. And these people, for so many years we've been saying, they got him for selling some dope. Selling some dope, if you break that down, that's selling cocaine and heroin to our kids. And I mean, it's not just some old dope addict that's, asleep at the bus station coming by and getting a pill or something. That isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about our babies. And law enforcement, my thoughts are that we can't necessarily change how you were raised. We can't change your value system. We can't do all that. I don't have the resources or all the knowledge. But what I can change is what you do out there, and you're going to be in fear that I'm going to catch you. If you're not in fear from some other gang member or somebody else, you at least going to fear me.
9 members of these gangs or gang arrested and indicted. Is that going to make a dent, or is this just the tip of the iceberg, do you think?
I think it's more than just the tip of the iceberg. I think definitely in that neighborhood it will make a dent. But what you have, if you don't replace it with something, if you don't get the preachers and the teachers and the politicians together and start doing some things differently, and in addition to holding people accountable that don't want to do things differently, then that's the key to it. I can't continue to be responsible and pay for and try to re-raise kids once they get to be 20 years old and on a basketball court. I think that's great. I think community-oriented policing is great. I think that's the way we ought to have a mindset, that we care for people, and we especially care for the law-abiding community. But that we're going to kick some butts if you don't. If you going to get out of line, then we're going to catch you and we're going to take you to court and try to get you some time in jail till you learn how to act.
You had some pretty strong words describing these guys. Can you tell us how you feel about them?
Most folks that know me know that I'm pretty I don't know about outspoken, but I'm pretty crude, I guess.
And that's okay.
But, yeah, I called them bastards because we got to take this crime problem seriously. It's not just one neighborhood. It's not just one color of people. It's a bunch of bastards out there trying to hurt us and our children and take our stuff. And I just turned 40. So I'm getting on up there. And so I've reached the point to where I'm tired of playing around with these people. I'm tired of playing around with the critics that know nothing about law enforcement and what we have to do every day with our very limited resources. I'm ready to take the gloves off and to call them what they are and to catch them and to do whatever we need to do legally, of course. I'm not, we're not to the vigilante stage. I don't mean that. I want to give people breaks, too, and help them. I'm not a cold person. My particular faith is one of being a Christian, and I try to do what I read in the Bible as best I can. I fall short of it, probably not over 90% of the time, but I try, and so anyway, I get very passionate about what I love, and that's law enforcement, about what I know, which is law enforcement. I don't know anything about sociology. We try with the DARE programs, and we try with so many other programs, but we've reached the end of our rope as far as being able to do anything else about changing little children's behaviors with the resources that we have. That has to be done, but law enforcement can't do it.